So I've been getting asked a lot for tabs and sheet music for my covers, and I've never used tabs ever in my life, so I don't really know how to make those, and I don't have the time to make those. And with sheet music, I can sort of read and write music, but not that well, and I don't have time to make that either. So I'm just going to show you how to play. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is tune down to drop D. So your E string is going to become a D. Kind of like that. So this song is in G, and since we're in drop D now, the chord shape for G is not going to look like this because it sounds weird. So for this song I play it like this. So I take my ring finger and put it on the 5th fret, and my pinky and put it on the 5th fret, and it builds the chord, the bass notes of the chord. And then I take my ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret E string, the high E string, or low, I don't know, the little one. So it kind of makes a G with a double D in there. Anyway, so there's our first chord, G. Now the next chord is B minor, and I'm not sure exactly what this variation is called, but it looks like this. You take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret on the A string, and then you take your ring finger and put it on the 2nd fret on the D string. G string. Don't listen to me. So starting from the beginning, it should sound like this. And B minor. And then our next chord is just a standard C major. Just vanilla as fuck. And then the next chord is D major 7th, I believe that is. So one more time, going through what we know so far. G, B minor, C, and then D major 7th. I think it's a D major 7th. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not that well versed in guitar chords. I just know the basics. I kind of just figure everything else out by ear. So, you know, after you go through that first progression, you do it again. B minor. Except this time when we get to C, we do this thing. So that goes like this. I take my pinky and I put it on the 3rd fret on the E string. And then I slide it all the way up to the 7th fret. And all the other strings are open, so it looks like this. And then I take my index finger and I cover the bottom 3 strings, D, B, and E. Then I take my ring finger and I put it on the 7th fret on the B string. Alright, so that's the intro, if you're still with me. I hope that you are, because if you're not, I don't know what to do about that. Alright, so then this is where the lyrics begin. Raise the sail, the wind is at your back, the sky is clear, and blue. This is where shit starts to change up. So instead of starting over from G, we're going to go back to C. And then we do this little walk down pattern with the chords. That is also a B minor, except I voice it a little bit differently. Instead of putting my ring finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, I remove it so that string is just open. And instead I take my pinky and I put it on the 3rd fret on the B string, so it sounds like this. And now next comes A minor. But when I play this chord for this song, I take my ring finger off of the G string on the 3rd fret, so it sounds like this. Alright, we'll go over it again. Hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. So we do the walk down, it sounds like this, and it looks like this. If I can play it right. Then we go back to D major 7th. So it should sound like this with the lyrics, if I can remember my own lyrics. What was it? I have not done any vocal warm-ups or anything, so this is probably not going to sound all that great. So the next part. Onward now, the sun is sinking low into the clouds below. And then it does a similar thing. It goes back down to the C. And it does half of the walk down. So it goes to E minor right here instead of A. And then to do the E minor, since we're in drop D, you have to cover that E. So I do it by placing my thumb over the E string on the 3rd fret. So it sounds like this. And then the next chord is, honestly, I don't even know what this is. I think it's a, see, what would that be? An E flat minor? Or major? I don't even know what it is, but it looks like this. Take your ring finger, take your index finger and cover the top 3 strings, so the E and the A and the D string. And then you take your ring finger and you cover the bottom 3 strings, so it looks and sounds like this. Now this next chord, it's pretty hard. It's hard to get to the next chord from here. It's a F, I think. It's just an F major chord, right? Yeah. But I pick up that the low E string with my pinky on the 3rd fret. So let's see, with the lyrics it would go, I know that you won't forsake her. Command the wind, command the wind, wake her. Okay, so the next section has some weird chords in it. I don't remember exactly what I played, but it basically just does a walk down pattern again, but this time it's walking down on the E string. And So we're going to start with the G, basically the exact same chord, I think, as the first chord in the song. You're going to take your middle finger and then release your ring finger from the E string and put your middle finger on the 4th fret. So that'd be one note down from the G. So starting over again, it would sound like this. And the next chord, I think it was like this. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to play my own song. That's how sad this is. This is why I won't do tabs or sheet music, because so for this chord it is just the top 3 strings on the 3rd fret. So and then the next one I think was, that's right, it's just down 1 fret and only 2 fingers on the bottom on the top 2 strings. So I take my middle finger and my ring finger and I put them on E and A. So that whole sequence will sound like this. Okay, so after that we're going to jump up to C major chord. And we're going to walk down to that B minor variation that I showed you, so like this. From this B minor chord, we're going to go down to E minor. So like I showed you, it's just the top 3 strings. Right here. Right, and then it goes to back up to A minor, that variation that I showed you where your ring finger is not covering the G string. Then back up to D major 7th. So with the lyrics it sounds like, remember those lazy days by the shore. They remind you that you're not a boy anymore. So climb aboard and you will be with her again. Promise you, I promise you. And then it's going to go back to the G, and it does mostly the same walk down pattern, so like this. Up to the C major, B minor, and then down to E minor, and then we go down to that weird E flat minor major chord that I showed you. This one, then up to that F major with the pinky on the 3rd fret. Back to G. So when you put it all together, it should sound like, no matter what was written long ago, I believe that you are the true hero. with shield and sword. You'll find a way to save her. Command the wind. Command the wind. Wake her. Then we end with the second half of the first pattern, which sounds like this. So that's basically all there is to it in terms of the chord structure. I hope that this made a little bit of sense. I don't really do guitar lessons or teaching, and I'm not that great at relating like what I play to someone who's trying to learn it. I've tried to do this before with not that great results, but this is going to be better than me doing tabs or sheet music, because I won't do those because I won't have time for that. Even if I want to, it just won't happen. So I'd like to do more of these in the future. If this was somewhat educational for you and you'd like to see more, then let me know. Leave me a comment about what you'd like to see me do next. I'm pretty much open for a tutorial on any of my music except for Ripple Field and my Vector Man cover. Not doing those. Not ever gonna do those. Don't ask me to do those, please. Thank you. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you learned something. And if you didn't, then I quit.